I failed. What a trash I am. But what is a man? Just a miserable pile of secrets. I went 6 times to create the damn mood sprite kernel and I couldn't find out what many stood before me could. How can you store the data so it can be reachable in less cycles, but don't feed the RAM as an idiot? How can I rearrange them so they can be displayed in vertical order every single frame? What should I do now?
You must die!
Let's face it that my programming skills and abilities had reached their limits, so kind of proudly instead I present you this submenu option. Mostly in Atari games you are forced to have a single screen, and that really cuts down the possibilities and complexity, and forcing all the content onto one screen can be really confusing. And this was something I really hated as I was coding in Atari Basic, but I'm pretty sure that all stuffed kernels suffer from the same issue, and that's why I invented
The ultimate subkernel 2600!
It's just a really simple 6 sprites kernel using triples and changing sprite data and position every line, giving the illusion of 6 sprites, while the other sprite will let you select the IK you want. You can have up to 4 lines of choices, but you can have 16 icons at the same time. For designing, you have the same options in the sprite editor menu. Except you are forced to have 8 rows tall sprites, and I disabled the helping highlights for this option because you are not really designing an animation sheet this time. Vertical, the movement is closed by the borders, but on the left and right side the cursor will appear on the other side. Because it uses only a small amount of the screen, you can put there text, the picture of the shop owner, the prices, details of the item, the picture of your cat, so it's all up to you. Of course, the 2 screens use different memory addresses, so you can switch between them freely.
But I'm not done yet!
I wanted to interrupt the gameplay the least I could, so I added a feature. You can switch on the background, so some part of it will be visible while you are searching the item, changing weapons, etc. Of course, this one looks better with less rows. For the inactive gameplay effect, you can also turn on the grayscale filter. It just cuts off the high nibble of the color values. And you may ask, how did I overlay the screen on the Atari 2600? And you are right, that's not possible. I don't want to go into details, but the 2600 is the opposite of computers like the VIC-20, where the graphics are made of stored char set in memory and can be overwritten anywhere. So I just made a smaller version of the normal kernel without the sprites and the missiles, and I also had to calculate the lines and coordinates where to position things and recreate also the errors the normal kernel had, and believe me, that was the hardest part. And by the way, we still have 37 bytes of RAM in the normal bank, not counting this stack of course, and we still have Sarah RAM. So, as I promised, we are going for the audio part next time, and to tell you the truth, I know that I could do better music with all these floppy drives instead, but that would never satisfy me. So prepare your ears for the worst torture they ever witnessed. Until next time.